Welcome back to another daily update here in the TandemCTelevision studios, and we're finally getting back to work on the 10th scale apocalyptic city we're building, so don't go anywhere. Before we get started with today's update, I did want to apologize for the lack of updates on the channel recently, and really it's due for the move from the old studio to the new studio. So it's coming down to crunch time to get that move finalized, so it's really taking up a lot of my time. I got to get everything from over at the old place moved over here to the new place by the end of the month, and it's really just eating up my time, but I did have time to get back to work on the apocalyptic city we're building for CCG 2084. And if you remember right, we were starting with Willie's Bar and Grill. So we're building a 10th scale bar and grill. And this is basically kind of going to be a centerpiece of the series. This is where the guys go and get drinks after work. So it's a bit like the Regal Beagle for the older folks that watch Three's Company. This is where they're going to go, meet up, discuss things. So it's going to be a bit of a centerpiece in the series. And so I'm really trying to build in a lot of detail to this. And keep in mind, this is just the front fascia of the building. There's going to be an entire building behind this front fascia that's going to be somewhere in the neighborhood of 4 foot tall, by about 2 foot wide. So this is just the detailed front fascia that they're going to be walking in. So when we film them entering and exiting, this is what you're going to see. So there's also going to be a lot of lighting involved here. If you remember right, we added some lighting around the sign. We're adding some spotlights also to highlight some of the music posters, because this is also going to be a music venue. So it's basically a bar and grill and music venue. There's going to be a music stage inside where we'll have bands playing and whatnot. So I'm adding some lighting to highlight some of the music posters that are on the walls. The front, up front, we also have, I don't know what you call these, but basically some pillars to keep vehicles from driving through the building. Remember, this is a very dangerous place. Those pillars have lighting in them, so they'll have uplighting through them, which are not hooked up yet. And then what we've been working on, or where we finished off previously, is with the upstairs balcony. So this top part here is basically just going to be a balcony coming off the main part of the building that's going to be sitting behind this front fascia. And this is going to be a balcony, and I was putting in some of the pillars, which also are lit and are side lit essentially, and are going to light the glass wall, or the glass railing. I guess that's what it would be better called, to be the glass railing. So that's where we were working. And so basically what I've done now is I've just went ahead and drilled out for the rest of those pillars, and went ahead and installed them. Now there's one LED in the bottom of each of these pillars that will wire up all together and can be powered to be lit. Now I also wanted to kind of cap off the top of the building. I just wanted to clean it up, and I thought this needs to be a little bit more industrial looking. This is Willie's Bar and Grill. It's a bit of a hot rod bar, I guess you would say. So I wanted to make it a little more industrial. So I used some diamond plates, some diamond plate styrene, to make a trim along the top, and just painted it black, and then used some rub and buff to give it that diamond plate effect, or a worn diamond plate effect. Now, if you guys, I know I use this all the time, and I don't know if I've really talked about it. If you're not using rub and buff for these types of effects, I would highly advise, or I would recommend going out and getting you some rub and buff. Just get you one tube of the stuff and give it a try. Now, I have a whole set of this. I use it a lot. So I have in fact, here's a picture of basically all my rub and buff, along with some paints that I use for weathering also. But this is my set of rub and buff. Like I use this stuff so much that I have an entire set of it. But I would advise, go out and get you some and give this stuff a try. I just use I don't really know what these are called. They're used for makeup, but they're a sponge, like a triangular sponge for applying makeup. I use them. That's what I use to apply my rub and buff, so that you get, they're very stiff, but yet soft. I don't know, that's a good description, but they make a good applicator for rub and buff when you're trying to hit the tops of things like the diamond plate. But anyway, so I glued that in place, and then what I wanted to do on top of that is add some rust to it. So this is kind of going to be just kind of a first layer. So I add some of my homemade rust to it, and then I use a lot of water just to try to get it. I just add water, just blot water onto it to try to get it to run down the side of the building. Just give it a dripping effect, like it's rusted and rained, and it's just running down the building, which I think turns out pretty well. Now there's going to be a lot more layers of grime and whatnot that go on the entire walls of this building. So this is just the first layer, but I think it's a good start. In fact, I went ahead and turned off some of the lights so we could see the pillars glowing, so we can kind of see what this effect's going to look like. Now, this might be a little dark on YouTube. Hopefully, you guys can see this. I might have to lighten it up in post here, in post editing, but we'll see. Hopefully, you guys can see kind of what the effect we're going for is, and also you can see the glow-in-the-dark paint we use for the Willie's Bar and Grill sign. Now, you got to also remember, this is all going to be lit by black light. So there's going to be large black lights in the studio. They're going to be lighting this. In fact, the whole set is going to be lit. So it's going to be very cyberpunk looking from that aspect, from the lighting. A lot of glow-in-the-dark graffiti and paint and black lighting and all these glowing red and blue and purple lights. I think it's going to be a really good effect. But it's a good start we've got on the balcony here. Unfortunately, I've run out of time. I've got to get back. I've got to get everything moved. But I will finish off wiring these in and the floor of the balcony so you guys can see that. And I think by next week also, when we update on Willie's Bar and Grill, I'll go ahead and build in the rough building that goes in behind this. So basically just the structure for the building. So you can kind of see the scale that this is going to be at. I mean, it's 10th scale. So, and behind this, I know I've mentioned this in the past, but for people that are new to the channel, the building behind, like I said, is going to be about 4 foot tall, and because it's going to be above Willie's Bar and Grill is going to be apartment living, or townhome living, or whatever, kind of this residential living above Willie's Bar and Grill. So it's going to go on up and a good another 3 feet above what this front fascia you're already seeing. So anyways, I think it's going to look pretty good, but let me know what you think down in the comments down below. Let me know how you think it's coming along, or if there's something you do a little different. I know we need to add a light for Willie himself, I think, and I think I'll just do that probably with some kind of overhang light, probably coming out of that, excuse me, out of the diamond plate strip we just made. I'll probably do some kind of overhang light. And then I was also thinking about doing some weep holes, or I guess downspouts. So in other words, water that rains on, when it rains and it rains on the balcony, it'll drain through some spouts coming out also from where the diamond plate is. And then that way we could have some water effects coming down and a lot of rust running down. I think it would make a good effect to just give that look of where water's running down the side of the building. It has been for a long time, and it's kind of rusted up. Anyways, let me know if you have any ideas, what you would also do to the bar and grill down below. Love seeing your comments. A lot of what we've already done comes from your comments, so I really appreciate that. Also, if you'd like to keep up with this series, make sure and hit that subscribe button down below. So not only the daily updates, but when the CCG 2084 series comes out, so that you're updated when that happens. And I did want to remind, we will be doing those as premieres. So as each episode comes out, we'll premiere them. I'll sit there and watch them with you. I'd love to get your reactions and whatnot. So keep that in mind too. So by subscribing, you'll be updated when that's going to happen. Okay, so make sure and hit that subscribe button. Leave me those comments down below. Hit the like button if you would. It really does help. And if you'd like to help support the series, help support this channel, maybe consider hitting that join button down below. We are working. I am going to be filming today, in fact, on the exclusive build we're doing for channel members and also for patron members. So if you want to either join down below to check that out, or head over to the Patreon page, you can check it out over there. Also, the links are down in the description below. But thanks for joining me today, guys. Sorry it's kind of short, and sorry it's been a little sporadic. But by the end of March, we'll definitely be back up and running full speed. Thanks for being patient. Thanks for sticking around, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.